The mining colony on Titan's moon looked small against the dark sky. Inside the medical bay, Hana checked her supplies for the third time that morning. She had been a medic for 2 years now, and her hands never shook anymore. Today, though, something felt different. The alarm came at noon. Not the mining accident alarm. The other one. The one they had installed last month. First contact. Hana pressed her face to the window and saw them. 3 massive ships hung in space like dark mountains. They did not look like any human ship she had ever seen. They looked alive somehow, all curves and ridges like giant beetles made of metal. The comm system crackled. All personnel, stay calm. We have visitors. They call themselves the Kryn Imperium. They want to talk. Hana watched the shuttle land on Platform 5. When the doors opened, she understood why people were screaming. The Kryn were not small. They stood almost 3 meters tall, with 4 arms and bodies covered in dark armor that seemed to grow from their skin. Their faces had mandibles that clicked when they moved. Lights under their skin pulsed in colors she had never seen before. The talks happened in the main hall. Hana was not important enough to attend, but she heard the rumors. The Kryn claimed this whole sector of space. They said humans were trespassing. The colony administrator Taejin was trying to negotiate, but it was not going well. Then the ground shook. Hana knew that feeling. Section 7. The deep mines. Something had collapsed. She grabbed her medical kit and ran. Other medics followed her. The mining crews needed help. When she reached the mine entrance, chaos waited for her. Workers were screaming, covered in dust. The tunnel had come down. 20 people were trapped inside, maybe more. And some of the Kryn had been touring the mines when it happened. We need to go in, Hana said. There are people alive in there. Too dangerous, the safety officer said. Could collapse more. Then it collapses, Hana said. She pushed past him into the tunnel. The emergency lights made everything look red. Hana climbed over broken rock, calling out names. Behind her, she heard heavy footsteps. 2 other medics had followed. Good. They found the first survivors quickly. Cuts and bruises, nothing serious. But they were trapped behind a wall of debris. It would take hours to dig through. Keep going, Hana told the others. There has to be another way around. She crawled through a gap between 2 fallen support beams. Her suit tore on the metal. The air tasted like dust and blood. Then she heard something. Voices. 1 human, 1 not. Hana squeezed through and found them. Yuna from the geology team sat against the wall, holding her arm. It was broken. Next to her, Daeho was trying to stop his leg from bleeding, and beyond them, something massive moved in the shadows. The Kryn warrior stepped into the light. His armor plates were cracked. Blue liquid seeped from a wound in his side. His forearms moved slowly, and his mandibles clicked in what might have been pain. The lights under his skin pulsed weakly. Don't hurt them, Yuna said quickly. He protected us when the roof came down. Held it up long enough for us to get clear. Hana moved forward slowly. She had no idea how to treat an alien. But a wound was a wound. Blood was blood. Even if it was blue. I am going to help you, she said to the Kryn. Do you understand? The alien's head tilted. Yes, I am Vekthar. You are medic? Yes. Sit down, please. You are hurt badly. Vekthar lowered himself to the ground. Up close, he was even more frightening. Each of his hands had 3 fingers tipped with claws. His eyes were like black stones. When he breathed, his whole chest rattled. Hana opened her kit. Nothing in here was made for Kryn biology. She would have to guess. The blue blood was not clotting. That was the first problem. She pulled out the synthetic clotting agent. It worked on most carbon-based life. Maybe it would work on him. This might hurt, she said. Pain is expected, Vekthar replied. Hana pressed the foam into his wound. Vekthar's body went rigid, but he made no sound. The foam expanded, and the bleeding slowed. Good. That was something. Next, she treated Yuna's arm and Daeho's leg. Both would be fine, but they were stuck. The tunnel had collapsed in front and behind them. The air was getting thinner. "Rescue will come," Hana said with confidence she did not feel. "We just have to wait." Hours passed. Hana rationed the oxygen packs from her kit. She gave most of her share to the others. The temperature dropped. In the cold and dark, Yuna started to panic. "We are going to die here," Yuna said. Her voice climbed higher. "We are buried. They will never find us. We are going to run out of air, and, Yuna," Hana said gently, "look at me. Breathe with me. In and out. Slow." But Yuna could not stop shaking. So Hana did the only thing she could think of. She started to sing. An old song her mother had taught her. About stars, and home, and hope. Her voice was not beautiful. It cracked on the high notes. But in the darkness, it was something to hold on to. Yuna's breathing slowed. Deho closed his eyes and listened. Hana did not notice Vekthar watching her. The alien warrior's head was tilted again. The lights under his skin pulsed in a new pattern, soft and steady like a heartbeat. He had fought in 30 battles. He had conquered 12 worlds for the Imperium. He had seen stars die and civilizations fall, but he had never seen anything like this small human singing in the dark to comfort others. Her species was weak, fragile, short-lived. Logic said they should be afraid, should be selfish, should fight each other for the remaining air. Instead, this one sang. Vekthar did not understand. But something in his chest, something he did not have words for, made him unable to look away. The rescue team broke through after 31 hours. Light flooded the tunnel. Strong hands pulled them out one by one. Medics rushed to treat them. Colony leaders asked questions. The Kryn commander arrived to retrieve Vekthar. As Vekthar was led away to his ship, he stopped. He turned back. Through the crowd of people and machines and chaos, he found her. The small medic with dust in her hair and blood on her clothes. She was treating another injured worker, her hands steady and sure. Hana looked up. Their eyes met across the platform. She smiled at him. Just a small smile. Tired and relieved. Vekthar did not smile back. His face could not make that expression. But his lights pulsed once, bright and quick. Then he turned and walked to his ship. He could not explain why he kept thinking about that smile. Or why her song still echoed in his mind. Or why, for the first time in his life, he wanted to go back to somewhere he had been. The Kryn did not believe in beauty. They did not believe in art, or kindness, or songs in the darkness. These were weaknesses, illogical things, but Vekthar kept thinking about them anyway. The peace agreement surprised everyone. The Kryn Imperium agreed not to attack the human colonies. In exchange, humans would teach them about this sector of space. Cultural exchange, they called it. Hana thought it was just a fancy way of saying, watch each other carefully. The Kryn sent liaisons to live on New Haven Colony. When the list came through, Hana saw a name she recognized. Vekthar had volunteered. His commander had asked him 3 times if he was sure. Warriors did not volunteer for diplomatic duty, but Vekthar had insisted. Tajin, the colony administrator, was not happy about it. "We need to be careful," he said at the morning briefing. "The Kryn are not our friends. They are studying us to find weaknesses. Maybe we can study them too," Hana suggested. "Learn what they want, why they are really here." Tajin looked at her for a long moment. "Fine. You saved one of them. You can be his guide. Show him our culture. And report back anything useful." So Hana became a spy. A bad one, because she did not really want to trick anyone. Vekthar arrived the next day. He had to duck through doorways. His footsteps made the floor shake. People stared at him in the corridors and moved away quickly. Children hid behind their parents. "Welcome back," Hana said. She was not afraid. She had already seen him at his worst, bleeding and hurt in a collapsed mine. "Are you healed?" "Yes." "Kryn, heal quickly. Your medicine helped." He paused. "Thank you." Those words did not come easily to him. Hana could tell. What do you want to learn about humans? She asked. Everything, Vekthar said. I do not understand you. So Hana showed him everything. The mess hall where people ate together and talked about nothing important. The recreation room where workers played games and laughed. The gardens where they grew flowers that had no use except being beautiful. Why? Vekthar asked, staring at a rose. It cannot be eaten. It does not make oxygen efficiently. Why waste resources? Because it is pretty, Hana said. It makes people happy to look at it. Happy. Vekthar repeated the word like it was foreign. This is an emotion. Emotions make warriors weak. We remove them. Remove them? How? Surgery. Genetic modification. Training. We are taught from creation that feelings are flaws. Only logic matters. Only strength. Hana felt cold. That sounds lonely. Lonely is another emotion. We do not feel it. But the way he said it made Hana wonder if that was completely true. The real test came 3 weeks later. A colonist family was celebrating their daughter's birthday. Little Rin was turning 6. They had invited some of the Kryn liaisons to watch. Cultural exchange. Hana brought Vekthar to the party. He stood in the corner like a statue while children ran around screaming and laughing. There was cake and music and games. Rin opened presents and hugged everyone. I do not understand, Vekthar said quietly to Hana. She has accomplished nothing. She is only 6 years old. Why celebrate? Because she exists, Hana said. Because her parents love her. Because she makes them happy. Kryn are created in batches. We do not have parents. We do not celebrate existence. We celebrate victories. Conquests. Useful achievements. That sounds sad, Hana said before she could stop herself. Vekthar went very still. His lights pulsed in a pattern she had not seen before. Sad is not allowed, but little Rin had noticed him. She walked over, brave in the way only children can be. She held up a piece of cake on a plate. Do you want some? Rin asked. It is chocolate, my favorite. Vekthar looked down at the tiny human, offering him food. His mandibles clicked uncertainly. I do not require sustenance at this time. But do you want some? Wanting is different from needing. Hana watched something change in Vekthar's expression. It was subtle, just a shift in how his lights moved. He took the plate carefully in one of his 4 hands. Yes, he said slowly. I want some. Thank you, small human. My name is Rin, she giggled, and ran back to her friends. Vekthar did not eat the cake, but he held the plate for the rest of the party, and his lights stayed in that new soft pattern. That night, Hana found him in the observation deck, still holding the plate. He was staring out at the stars. You are documenting us, Hana said. It was not a question. Yes, my reports say humans are paradoxical. You are weak but brave, fragile but enduring. You live short lives but waste time on impractical things. You should be easy to defeat, but you survived against greater species. I do not have answers for these contradictions. Maybe they are not contradictions, Hana said. Maybe they are just different from what you know. Before Vekthar could answer, alarms screamed through the colony. Emergency. Attack. Hana ran to the medical bay. The reports came fast. A Kryn extremist group had attacked the eastern section. They believed the cultural exchange was weakness. They wanted to destroy the colony and everyone in it. The fighting was brutal and fast. Hana worked on the injured as they came in. Burns, broken bones, worse. Then they brought in the children from the education center. The extremists had targeted them specifically. Hana worked on a girl with shrapnel wounds. Her hands moved automatically, but her heart was breaking. Why hurt children? What kind of species did this? Then she heard the explosion. Close, too close. The medical bay doors blew open. 3 Kryn extremists pushed through, weapons ready. Their eyes found the children. Hana stepped in front of the injured. She had no weapon, no armor, just her body between the killers and the kids. The first Kryn raised his weapon. Hana closed her eyes. The shot never came. She opened her eyes to see Vekthar standing over the fallen extremist. His forearms moved like a storm. He was not gentle. He was not hesitant. He was a warrior. And warriors protected. The fight was over in seconds. The three extremists were unconscious. Vecthar stood among them, breathing hard. Blue blood dripped from his claws. Not his blood. "Are the children safe?" he asked without turning around. "Yes," Hana whispered. "Because of you." Colony security came and took the extremists away. They took Vecthar too. His own commander arrived. The harsh Shikal with eyes like ice. "You defended humans," Shikal said. "You fought your own kind. This is treason." "They were going to kill children," Vecthar said. "Children who had done nothing. Who had only celebrated existing. Sentiment, weakness, you will be disciplined." They took him to the Kryn ship. Hana heard later that the discipline was brutal. The Kryn did not forgive emotion. But Vecthar did not apologize. 3 days later, Hana was allowed to visit him in the recovery bay. His armor was cracked in new places. His lights were dim. "You should not have done that," Hana said. "You are hurt because of us." "No," Vecthar said. "I am hurt because I chose to protect instead of destroy." "That is different." Hana did not know what to say. So she pulled out her sketchpad. She had been drawing in her spare time, trying to process everything that had happened. She had drawn Vecthar without meaning to. In the picture, he stood tall and strong, lights bright, protecting the children. She showed it to him. "This is how I see you." Vecthar stared at the drawing for a long time. His hands trembled slightly as he held the paper. "You see me as noble?" he asked. "The Kryn have no word for this. No concept. Then maybe you need a new word," Hana said gently. Vecthar kept the drawing. He folded it carefully and hid it in his quarters. Later, alone in the dark, he would look at it and wonder about the human word, lovely. He did not understand it yet, but he wanted to. The joint mission to Europa was supposed to be a new beginning. Both humans and Kryn would study the ancient ruins together, build trust, show cooperation. Hana volunteered immediately. So did Vecthar. The research station floated above Europa's icy surface like a small silver flower. Inside, the team worked in mixed groups. Hana partnered with Sunho, a xenobiologist who talked too much but had a kind heart. Vecthar worked with them, his forearms useful for carrying equipment. "These ruins are older than both our species," Sunho said excitedly. He pointed to the scans. "Maybe 10,000 years, maybe more. Whoever built this had incredible technology." Hana studied the images. The structures were beautiful even in decay. Towers and gardens and art everywhere. "They loved beauty," she said. "Look at all these decorations, these carvings. They did not need to make things pretty, but they did anyway." Vecthar moved closer. His lights pulsed in that questioning pattern Hana had learned to recognize. "Why does beauty matter so much to humans? Why does it not matter to Kryn?" Hana asked back. "Because it is inefficient. Resources spent on appearance are wasted. Form should follow function only." Sunho laughed. "But Vecthar, you have bioluminescent patterns on your skin. Those are beautiful. What function do they serve?" Vecthar went quiet. His lights flickered uncertainly. "They show emotional states. But we are taught to control them. To keep them dim. That seems sad," Hana said. "They are part of you. Why hide them?" That night, unable to sleep, Hana found Vecthar in the observation room. He stood alone, staring at Europa below. His lights were brighter than usual, moving in complex patterns across his armor. "Cannot sleep?" Hana asked. "Kryn require less sleep than humans." "I was thinking." "About what?" "About what you asked. Why we hide what we are." Vecthar's mandibles clicked softly. "I should tell you something. Something about my people." Hana sat down and waited. "Kryn are not born," Vecthar said finally. "We are made. Genetic engineering. Artificial wombs. We are designed for war. Our emotions are suppressed before we take our first breath. We are taught that we are weapons. Nothing more. That is horrible, Hana whispered. It is efficient. A race of warriors, all identical in purpose. No art, no music, no beauty. These things make you weak, we are told. These things distract from the mission. What mission? Conquest, expansion. The Imperium must grow. That is all that matters. Hana felt sick. Were you always like this? The Kryn, I mean. Did you start this way? No. Vekthar's lights dimmed. The ruins we are studying. I have seen others like them. On Kryn worlds. We destroyed them. Erased them. But some records survive. The Kryn were once different. We had families, art, emotions. Then came the change. Those who wanted power decided emotion was weakness. They rebuilt our entire species. Made us into what we are now. You were like us, Hana said softly. And someone took that away. Yes. They sat in silence for a while. Then Hana pulled out her notebook. Can I show you something? She read him poetry. Human words about love and loss and hope. About the beauty of temporary things. About how knowing something will end makes it more precious, not less. Vekthar listened without moving. When she finished, his voice was rough. This makes no sense. Why celebrate something if it will die? Why love if you will lose? Why create if it will be destroyed? Because the alternative is not living at all, Hana said. We die, yes. Everything ends. But while we are here, we can make beautiful things. We can love each other. We can sing in the dark. That matters. I want to understand this, Vekthar said. But I was not made to understand. Maybe you can learn. The next day, disaster struck. The station alarms screamed. Sabotage in the life support system. Someone had damaged the oxygen recyclers. They had maybe 6 hours of air left. The team split up to find the problem. Hana and Vekthar worked together, crawling through maintenance tunnels. It was tight and dark and cold. Hana's breath made clouds in the air. Here, Vekthar said. His eyes could see better in the dark. The main coupling is destroyed. We need to bypass it. They worked side by side. Hana's small hands could reach places Vekthar's could not. His strength could move components she could not lift. They fit together like pieces of a puzzle. We make a good team, Hana said, connecting wires. Yes, Vekthar agreed. Then, softer. I have never had a team before. Only units. Only other weapons. This is different. How? I care if you survive. Not because you are useful, but because you are you. Hana stopped working. She looked up at him in the dim light. His lights were pulsing in that soft pattern again, the one she had started to think of as gentle. Vekthar, she said carefully. I do not know what I am saying. We do not have words for this. They fixed the oxygen system with an hour to spare. The team celebrated. Sunho made jokes. Little Rin, who had snuck aboard to see the cool alien ruins, hugged everyone. But Hana and Vekthar stood apart from the others, both thinking about what had been said in the dark. Later, in the quiet of the evening, they walked through the station together. Vekthar had been studying the alien ruins on his own. He had questions. These people who built this place, he said. They were destroyed. Their beauty did not save them. Does this not prove the Kryn way is correct? That strength matters more than art? Maybe, Hana admitted. Or maybe it proves that even if you lose, it is worth trying. They left something behind. We remember them because of what they created, not because of how they died. They reached the observation window. Vekthar stared at his reflection in the glass. His armor was battle-scarred. His body was made for violence. His face was not kind or soft or anything that humans would call beautiful. I am not lovely like humans, he said quietly. The words came from somewhere deep. I am a weapon. I am designed to destroy. When you look at me, you should see a monster. Hana stepped closer. She reached up and put her hand on his arm. His armor was warm under her palm. "When I look at you," she said, "I see someone who protected children. I see someone who wants to understand poetry, even though it is hard. I see someone who is trying to be more than what he was made to be. That is not monstrous. That is brave." Vekthar looked down at her hand on his arm. Slowly, carefully, he raised one of his own hands. His claws could tear through metal. His strength could crush bones. But when he touched her face, his movements were gentle as falling snow. "You make me want to be something I was never designed to be," he said. "Something with a word I do not have. Something that creates instead of destroys." Hana felt her heart beating fast. She did not move away. Neither did he. Then the alarms sounded. Not station alarms, combat alarms. The message came through on every screen at once. The Kryn Imperium had declared war on humanity. All peace agreements were void. All humans in Kryn space were to be detained or eliminated. All Kryn in human space were to return immediately or be considered traitors. The war had begun. Vekthar's hand dropped from Hana's face. His lights went dark. She saw something in his expression she had never seen before. Fear. The evacuation of Europa Station happened in chaos. Human ships came to retrieve their people. Kryn vessels arrived to collect their warriors. Vekthar stood between both groups, not moving toward either. "You must return to the Imperium," his commander Shikal ordered through the comm. "The war has begun. You are needed." Vekthar looked at Hana. She was helping load children onto the transport ships. Little Rin clung to her, crying. Sunho was injured, holding his bleeding arm, but still working. The humans were not running. They were making sure everyone got out safely first. "No," Vekthar said. "I will not fight them. That is treason. You will be executed. Then execute me. I will not kill people who showed me what it means to be more than a weapon." The line went dead. Vekthar knew what came next. Kryn hunters. Death squads sent to eliminate traitors. They would come for him. And they would kill any humans in their way. Hana touched his arm. "You do not have to do this. You can go back. We will understand." "No, you will not," Vekthar said. "You will be disappointed. And I cannot bear that." The first attacks hit New Haven Colony 3 days later. Kryn warships appeared in orbit and began bombardment. The colony's shields held. But they would not last forever. Tajin organized the defense. Every able person was given a task. Vekthar gave Tajin something more valuable than another soldier. He gave him Kryn tactical data, defense patterns, weapon frequencies, weak points in their ships. "Why are you doing this?" Tajin asked. He did not trust easily. "Because Hana asked me what beauty was," Vekthar said. "And I am starting to understand. It is this: people protecting each other, fighting not because they are weapons, but because they love something worth protecting." Tajin studied him for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Welcome to the Resistance." The battle was brutal. Kryn forces were efficient and merciless. But humans were creative and stubborn. When the Kryn expected them to retreat, they attacked. When the Kryn expected them to surrender, they fought harder. Hana worked in the emergency medical center. The wounded came in waves. She saved everyone she could. Human, Kryn. It did not matter. Life was life. Some of the Kryn defectors, inspired by Vekthar, had joined the human side. They fought alongside people who had been enemies days before. "This is impossible," one young Kryn gasped, as Hana treated his wounds. "We are fighting our own programming, our own nature. How are humans so strong?" "We are not strong," Hana said, wrapping his injury. "We are terrified. But we fight anyway. That is different." The turning point came on the 5th day. Kryn forces had breached the eastern wall. They pushed toward the civilian shelters. Hundreds of families were trapped. Children, elderly, wounded. They could not evacuate in time. Vekthar led the defense. His forearms wielded weapons with deadly precision. But he was not alone. Humans fought beside him. Other Kryn defectors joined. They made a wall of bodies between the attackers and the innocent. Then Shikal arrived. The commander dropped from a gunship, weapons ready. He was larger than Vekthar, more experienced, more brutal. Traitor, Shikal said. You betray everything you are for these weak creatures. No, Vekthar said. I betrayed nothing. I became something more. They fought in the ruins of the colony streets. 2 Kryn warriors, both designed to be perfect killers. The ground shook with their combat. Shikal was stronger, faster. He had not been corrupted by emotion, but Vekthar had something Shikal did not. He had a reason to win. Not glory, not conquest. Something better. Shikal drove Vekthar back, step by step. His blade cut deep into Vekthar's armor. Blue blood spilled onto the broken ground. You are weak, Shikal said. Emotion has made you slow. This is why we remove it. We have HFY said. 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 No, a voice said. Emotion made him strong enough to change. Hana stepped between them. She had no armor, no weapon. Just a medical scanner in her shaking hands. Behind her, more humans formed a line. Workers, scientists, children old enough to hold tools. None of them were soldiers. All of them were ready to die to protect Vekthar. Ridiculous, Shikal said. You would die for this thing? This traitor? He is not a thing, Hana said firmly. He is our friend. And yes, we would die for him. That is what you cannot understand. We do not fight because we are programmed. We fight because we choose to. Shikal raised his weapon. But Vekthar was faster. Wounded and bleeding, he moved between Hana and the blade. The shot took him in the chest. His armor cracked. He fell. Hana screamed. She dropped beside him, hands pressing against the wound. Too much blood. Too fast. You were not supposed to do that, she sobbed. You were supposed to let me protect you for once. Vekthar's lights were fading. His hand found hers. I am not lovely like humans, he murmured. The words were so quiet. But you made me want to be. You made me want to be worthy of your songs in the dark. Something broke inside Hana then. Not her hope, not her courage. Something darker and fiercer. She looked up at Shikal with eyes that burned. You took everything from your own people, she said. Her voice was cold. You made them into weapons and called it strength. But you are wrong. He is stronger than you will ever be. Because he can change. He can grow. He can love, and you are just empty. Shikal laughed. But the sound died when Vekthar stood up. The wound should have killed him, would kill him, soon. But not yet. Not while people needed protecting. Vekthar rose like a mountain, like a storm, like every nightmare the Kryn had ever bred him to be. But this time, he was not destroying. He was defending. You want to see what emotion makes me? Vekthar said. His forearms moved. His lights blazed bright enough to hurt. Let me show you. The fight was over in seconds. Shikal was a warrior. Vekthar was a warrior with purpose. There was a difference. When Shikal fell, Vekthar did not kill him. He could have, should have, by Kryn law, but he remembered Hana's words about mercy. Go, Vekthar said. Tell the Imperium that some of us choose a different way. Shikal fled, coward in the end. The other Kryn forces saw their commander run. Saw a traitor standing tall. Saw humans refusing to break. And some of them, just a few at first, lowered their weapons. The battle for New Haven ended not with total victory, but with doubt. Doubt was a crack in the Imperium's armor. Doubt was where change could grow. But Vekthar collapsed as soon as the fighting stopped. His wound was too severe. Hana caught him as he fell. "No, no," she said. "Stay with me. You do not get to do this. You do not get to show me what brave looks like and then leave." "Hana," Vekthar said. His lights were almost gone now. "Thank you for teaching me what lovely means." His eyes closed. His hand went limp in hers. Hana screamed for the medics. They came running. Both human and Kryn defectors, working together to save one life. Because that is what you do. When you are not just weapons, you save each other. The surgery took 14 hours. The doctors were not sure it would work. Kryn biology was different. The damage was extensive. But they tried anyway. Because trying mattered. Hana waited outside. She did not eat. Did not sleep. She just waited. Sunho brought her water. Little Rin brought her drawings. Taejin sat beside her in silence. "He better live," Hana said to no one. "He better live because I have so much more to show him. So much more poetry to read. So many more sunsets to watch. He cannot leave before he understands it all." When the doctors finally came out, they looked exhausted. "He is stable," they said. "But he is not awake. We do not know if he will wake up." Quote, Hana went to his bedside. Vekthar lay still, his lights barely flickering. She took his hand. "You have to wake up," she whispered. "The war is not over. They are coming with more ships. A whole fleet. And we need you. I need you." Outside, in the dark space above the colony, sensors detected them. Hundreds of Kryn warships. The main fleet. This time, New Haven would not survive. But Hana did not know that yet. She sat beside Vekthar, holding his hand, and hoped for a miracle. Vekthar woke to the sound of alarms. His body hurt everywhere. His lights were dim, but he was alive. And Hana was sleeping in a chair beside his bed, her hand still holding his. "Hana," he said. His voice was rough. "Wake up." Her eyes opened immediately. When she saw him awake, she made a sound between a laugh and a sob. "You are alive. You stupid, brave, wonderful alien. You are alive." "The alarms," Vekthar said. "What is happening?" "The main Kryn fleet is coming. 300 ships. We have maybe 20. Taejin is evacuating the colony. We cannot win this." Vekthar pulled himself up. His body protested but obeyed. "How long until they arrive?" 6 hours. "Then I have time." Vekthar looked at Hana, really looked at her. This small human who had taught him everything important. "I need you to trust me. One more time." "What are you going to do?" "Something that will either save both our species or destroy me. Maybe both." Hana touched his face. Her hand was warm. "Then I am coming with you." "No. Too dangerous." "I did not ask for permission." Vekthar's lights pulsed in what might have been affection. "You are the most stubborn creature I have ever met. I learned from the best. They took a small ship. Fast and quiet." Vekthar knew the Kryn fleet patterns. He had helped design them. He could slip through their sensors if he was careful. Hana sat beside him, organizing the data files he would need. "Tell me the plan again," she said. "The Empress Krishara leads the fleet personally. She is ancient. She was alive during the change, when the Kryn remade themselves. She ordered the removal of all emotion, all art, all beauty from our species. She believes it made us strong. And you are going to convince her she was wrong? I am going to show her what she destroyed, and what she could have instead." The Kryn flagship was massive, a city in space. Vekthar docked in a maintenance bay and used his old security codes. They still worked. The Imperium had not expected him to be stupid enough to come here. They moved through empty corridors. The ship was cold and efficient. No decoration. No color. Just metal and purpose. "It is horrible," Hana whispered. "Like a prison." It is all I knew for my entire life. Until you showed me different. They reached the throne room. The Empress sat on a seat made of dark metal. She was older than any Kryn Vekthar had seen. Her armor was black as space. Her lights did not pulse at all. They were dead things, frozen in cold blue. Vekthar, the Empress said. Her voice was like stones grinding. The traitor returns. Good. Your execution will show others what happens when they embrace weakness. I am not here to die, Vekthar said. I am here to show you what you destroyed. He activated the data files. Holograms filled the room. Ancient Kryn history. Before the change. Images of Kryn with families. With art. With music. Kryn who smiled and laughed. And created beautiful things. This is what we were, Vekthar said. Before you decided emotion was weakness. Those Kryn were pathetic, the Empress said. They were conquered by every species they met. They were soft. I made us strong. You made us empty, Vekthar said. And I can prove it. He showed her more. Videos of the battle at New Haven. Kryn defectors fighting alongside humans. Warriors crying when their friends fell. Kryn creating art for the first time in their lives. Kryn learning to laugh. These traitors are diseased, the Empress said. But her voice was uncertain. These Kryn are whole, Vekthar said. For the first time in generations. Then he played his final piece. A recording of Little Rin's birthday party. The cake, the presents, the pure joy of celebrating existence. And there, in the corner, was Vekthar, holding a plate of cake, his lights pulsing in wonder. Humans are weak, Vekthar said. Their bodies are fragile. Their lives are short. Their weapons are inferior to ours. Logic says we should be able to destroy them easily, but we cannot. Do you know why? The Empress said nothing. Because they have something we do not. They know they will die. They know everything ends. But they create beauty anyway. They love anyway. They sing in the dark anyway. They are everything we were taught to despise. And everything we should aspire to become. This is madness, the Empress said. But she was still watching the videos. Her dead lights flickered. Just once. Just for a moment. I was designed to be a weapon, Vekthar said. Nothing more. But a human medic taught me I could choose to be something else. She taught me words like kindness, and hope, and love. She showed me that strength without compassion is just violence. And violence alone cannot build anything. It can only destroy. He stepped closer to the throne. Hana stayed back, but her presence gave him courage. You can kill me, Vekthar said. You can kill all the defectors. You can even destroy humanity. But you cannot kill the idea they gave us. That we are more than weapons. That we deserve to feel. That beauty is not weakness but the bravest thing in the universe. The Empress stood. Her forearms moved to her weapons. But then, she stopped. She looked at the holograms still playing. Kryn. Laughing. Kryn creating. Kryn living instead of just existing. What would you have me do? She asked quietly. Broadcast this. To every Kryn ship. Every Kryn world. Let our people see what they have lost. Let them choose for themselves what they want to be. That would mean the end of the Imperium as we know it. Yes, Vekthar said. It would mean the beginning of something better. The Empress was silent for a long time. Then, slowly, she nodded to her guards. Send the transmission. All channels. No encryption. The broadcast went out across the Kryn fleet. Thousands of warriors saw their true history for the first time, saw what they had been, saw what they could be again. The effect was not immediate. Centuries of programming did not break in seconds, but doubt began. Questions arose. On ship after ship, Kryn looked at each other and wondered why they were fighting. What they were fighting for. A captain named Cora was the first to break formation. She turned her ship away from New Haven. Others followed. Not all. Many stayed loyal to the old ways, but enough questioned, enough hesitated. The battle that should have been a massacre became a confused standoff. Then Shikal, still furious from his defeat, tried to force the attack anyway. He fired on the defecting ships, killed his own people for daring to feel. That decided it. Kryn turned on Kryn. Those who wanted to change against those who wanted to stay the same. The civil war was brief and vicious. When it ended, Shikal was dead. The Empress had surrendered. And the Kryn were free to choose. But Vekthar did not see the end. Shikal had shot at the throne room before dying. The blast caught Vekthar across his back. He fell hard. Hana was there instantly. "No, not again. You do not get to do this again." "Hana," Vekthar said. Blood made his words bubble. "Did we win?" "Yes, you stupid warrior. We won. Now hold still." Human and Kryn medics worked together again. The surgery was even worse this time. They almost lost him twice. But Vekthar was stubborn. He had learned that from humans too. 6 months later, everything was different. The Kryn Imperium had dissolved. In its place, something new was forming. A coalition. Kryn and humans working together to build instead of destroy. Vekthar recovered slowly. His body would never be as strong as before, but he did not need to be a perfect weapon anymore. He could be something else. He and Hana became ambassadors. They traveled between Kryn and human worlds, teaching both sides about each other. Young Kryn came to Earth to study art and music. Humans went to Kryn worlds to teach emotion and compassion. It was slow. It was hard. Not everyone accepted the change. But it was happening. On a warm evening on Earth, Hana and Vekthar stood on a hill watching the sun set. Vekthar had never seen Earth's sun before. The way it painted the sky in orange and pink and gold made his lights pulse in wonder. "Beautiful," he said softly. "Yes," Hana agreed. "But it will be gone in a few minutes. The sunset always ends. That makes it more precious, not less. I understand now." Vekthar looked at his hands. The claws that had only known violence. "I have been trying something. A human thing," he showed her. In his quarters, he had been creating a sculpture. It was crude and rough, but it clearly showed two figures in a collapsed mine tunnel. One large and armored, one small and brave, light between them in the darkness. "This is us," Vekthar said. "The first moment I saw you, when you sang in the dark, when I did not understand what I was feeling but knew it was important." Hana touched the sculpture gently. "It is beautiful. You made something beautiful. I am learning. You are teaching me." Vekthar turned to face her fully. His lights pulsed in that pattern she loved, soft and warm. "I used to think I was not lovely like humans. That I was too different. Too broken. Too much a weapon to be anything else. And now? Now I know that lovely is not about how you are made. It is about what you choose to do. How you choose to see the world. I choose to see beauty. I choose to create instead of destroy. I choose to love even knowing I will lose someday." Hana smiled. "That is very human of you." "Yes," Vekthar agreed. His mandibles moved in what might have been a smile. "It is." They stood together watching the sun disappear below the horizon. Two species that should have been enemies. Two beings that should have been too different to understand each other. But understanding had come anyway, because beauty, real beauty, was not in being the same. It was in choosing to see worth in what was different. In choosing connection over conquest. In choosing to sing in the dark even when you were afraid. The stars came out one by one. Hana leaned against Vekthar's armored side. He wrapped one arm around her carefully. Together they watched the night come alive with light. "Tell me again," Vekthar said quietly. "About the human concept of home." "Home is not a place," Hana said. "It is wherever you feel safe. Wherever you are loved. Wherever you can be yourself." Vekthar's lights pulsed bright and steady. "Then I have found it," he said. "Here. With you. Teaching me to be more than a weapon. showing me that lovely is not weakness, that beauty is worth fighting for, that even broken things can become whole if they choose to change. You were never broken, Hana said. You were just waiting to bloom. And there, on a hill on Earth, under a sky full of stars, a weapon became an artist. A destroyer became a creator. An alien became lovely, not because he changed what he was, but because he learned to see himself through kinder eyes.